Hi there, this is Sarah for How We Learn. I wanted to talk to you today about homeschooling. If you have just started homeschooling this year, or even if you're a seasoned homeschooler and are currently living through the 2020-2021 years, I want you to be reassured that this is not homeschooling. This is not what homeschooling is supposed to be like. This is not what homeschooling is supposed to feel like. It has been an exceptionally stressful time for everybody. So I just wanted to touch base with you and give you some encouragement. And I also have 5 ideas for us moving forward for when the world starts to open up again, which it will. So to begin, I don't know how your homeschooling year has gone, so I can't speak for you at all. But for me, it's been a very, very, very challenging time. We did okay the end of the year last year, kind of when March hit, and over here where we live in Ontario, Canada, things started to close down March. We did okay. The weather was just turning nicer. It was kind of nice. John, my husband, was home. Madeline was home, my older daughter. She was home as well. And it was just kind of one of those things that you were thinking, oh, this is kind of different and fun and interesting. And Nora at that time was really tiny, super tiny, and needed a lot of attention and care. And so the idea of having John home and having Madeline home to pop in and help while I was doing work one-on-one with the boys was actually super helpful. And I thought that this was actually going to be kind of cool. And the weather had started to turn nice. So even though our activities and things had shut down, we were outside all the time, and it didn't really feel that confining. At least it didn't for us. We also decided to put in a pool in the summer, so we had that exciting adventure happening. And it was just, we were busy with other things that it kept us busy. But this school year is a totally different story. My kids have had enough of it. They haven't been seeing their friends, and emotionally they're done. Little Nora is still little and still a toddler and needing help. Work schedules have changed for my husband, so now he's not home all the time. And when he is home, he has to work completely full-time hours. So he's not available to help. So it's still just me and the kids. But the difference is I don't have help, and we're not going anywhere. And there's a ton of snow, and it's like -20 outside, so we can't be outside. And it sucks. If I'm being totally honest, it's really, really hard right now. The kids are not at their best. I'm not at my best. I'm really easily irritated, and just things are going not so great right now. So all that is to say that I was talking to my sister the other day while texting her and saying that things were really difficult right now. And she was like, yeah, I don't know how on earth you homeschool. And that triggered me right there, thinking about the very first year that I started homeschooling and how similar the feelings I was having now were to the feelings I was having that first year when I started homeschooling. We weren't successful our first year. In fact, halfway through the school year, one of my kids went to school. We enrolled him in school because I just thought, this is not for me. I can't do this. And now looking back, I understand that it was just so situational, as it is now. This is just so situational. I actually messaged my sister and said, yeah, I don't know how I homeschool either. They might go to school next year. They're not going to. It's just, again, situational. So the first year, what happened was my kids were very little. They're really busy boys. I share about how we started our quiet time and our rhythm and all of that stuff. That happened right when we were starting homeschooling. And it was just before I had learned about all that. Things were really bad. So the difference was that we didn't have a homeschool group yet. It was just me and my kids at home with no help, same as it is now. And the feelings of being like, okay, our schoolwork takes us maybe an hour out of the day, and then what do we do with the rest of our time? Like, there's only so much Playmobil you can play, and there's only so much Lego you can do. There's only so much hide and seek you can play. Like, what do you do to fill the day? Like, I can't be my kids' playmate all day long. It's exhausting, and it's not enjoyable for me. So right now we're kind of in that same state. So I wanted to remind myself and remind you of what is coming, and that if you are continuing to homeschool through this time, or if this is your first year homeschooling, rest assured that this is not what homeschooling needs to be like. It can be like this. Homeschooling can be whatever is right for you and your family. Some families really love to live like remotely or live off the grid and be totally self-sufficient and very remote and isolated. And that's how they thrive and survive, and fabulous if that's you. I love the idea of being self-sufficient and living off grid and being remote. I watch tons of YouTube videos about that, and that's my goal someday is to be a lot more self-sufficient. But I also know that I need social and I need time with other people. I need time away from my kids in order to be my best self. And in order for them to be their best self, I feel like they also need time with other people. So I'm realizing that I say so a lot when I do these videos. It's funny the things that you learn as you're starting to record yourself speaking. Anyways, I have come up with 5 things that if you are new to homeschooling or if you just need a reminder, I've come up with 5 things that help me look forward to what is to come, to remind me what homeschooling can be and in our home what it needs to be in order for us all to thrive and feel our best. So I was going to say so again. And those 5 things. The first one is the need for a group or a community. Right now, there's a ton of online communities that are thriving. Be very select and particular with the groups that you choose to be a part of. Many of them right now, people are stressed out. Everybody is overwhelmed. It is hard. A lot of the groups right now are incredibly negative, talking about the challenges. And I understand that we need support when we're going through a challenging time. We need help, we need support. But it's really easy to read through that group and be like, oh my gosh, yes, this is awful. This is terrible. Who on earth would homeschool? This is the worst. My kids do that too. This is just awful. And then you're just kind of getting into that mindset of how terrible things are. And that's not going to make you want to continue to homeschool or continue to see the benefits in it. So, that's another thing is to really outline your reasons for why you're homeschooling. If you don't know your why, especially in a time like now, it's going to be super easy to give up on it. Our why, there's lots of different reasons. School was really hard on one of my children. So that was my biggest why, was that I didn't want it to affect his self-esteem the way it was. And my second why was that I love spending time with my kids. They're only little once. These years fly by. I love teaching. I'm a classroom teacher, and I thought I adore teaching children. I love my own kids. They're little only ones. I want to spend time with them. School's not going well for my other little guy, so this is the logical thing for us to do. Write that all down. Put it on your mirror. Put it anywhere you need to remind yourself about why you're doing what you're doing, because otherwise it's going to be really easy to give up on your dreams right now. So find your group or community. Right now, they have to be online. Find a really good one, one that's uplifting and positive and talking about the joys of homeschooling. One where it's safe to share your challenges, but those challenges are met with empathy and encouragement, not commiseration that snowballs into this is a really negative place. Tricky to find one, but do look for that. And then once the world opens up again, find a real life group. That was why we continue to homeschool. We found a great group here where I live. I found friends. My kids found friends. That's kind of the sweet spot, is you need to find a group where you bond with the parents, like the other adults, that you click and you find common interests, and you have people that are friends that you can get together with during the week that share this life path. And you need to make sure that the kids also click, that your kids find other children that they get along with and that they play really well with. They have other interests. It's really cool with homeschooling because when you get together, it doesn't matter the age. Some kids, like my 10-year-old plays beautifully with this little guy that's 12. My 8-year-old plays great with this little guy that's 6. So, I mean, age doesn't really matter at all. It's just more so common interests and mutual happiness. So you're trying to find a group that provides you with mutual happiness. So once you have found that group, get heavily involved, because it takes a village. You can't always just be the person that's going along to the events and going along to the activities. Do that at first while you get to know everybody, but then jump in and start planning events, start planning activities. Make sure that it happens regularly enough for you. If it's too much for some people, they're just going to say, yeah, I'm going to skip this one. I'm going to sit this one out. That's fine. But create whatever it is that you need. If you need a weekly get-together, make it happen. If you need a bi-weekly get-together, make it happen. If you need, just figure out what it is that you need to be your best and what your kids need to be their best. One of my little guys is really introverted, and would do just fine seeing people once a month. My other little guy is super social and wants to see people every single day. So it's finding that balance as well within your own family. I'm also rather extroverted and need to see people, the right people, regularly. So it's finding that balance for your family. Really important is finding a group. There will, I guarantee, wherever you live, there are other homeschoolers. It will take some time. Be patient, but be persistent, because that is a complete game changer. When you have your group, that's the sweet spot. When you have friends that are in the same life path and doing the same things, and you can call them on a Tuesday at 10:30 when things aren't going well and being like, hey, we need a park date. Do you want to come? That's what you need. You need those friends. A second thing to look forward to or to plan is have a fun day. So we have always done Friday Fun Day or Field Trip Friday. Field Trip Friday, we can't do field trips right now, so they've morphed into Friday Fun Day. It's basically just a day where we really love being together and we do something that is fun and mutually fun, not just kids activities, but that I really enjoy as well. So this past Friday, we went to a local conservation area. It was mutual because I love going for long car rides. That's one of my favorite things. I get a special drink at the coffee shop. Nora loves the car, so she's quiet in the car. The kids are really like tranquil in the car. And I love going for long car rides. The boys don't really love that, understandably, but this was kind of our mutual thing, is that I had my long car ride to get to this conservation area. Then we went out and we explored and hiked, which the kids love doing, exploring new places. And then I also got that long car ride on the way back. So it was a fabulous, lovely day. And again, it wasn't just for the kids. It wasn't like we were just going to like a play park just for them. We do that also, but again, I'll try to keep in mind choosing a park that's a little bit further away so I can get my quiet time on a drive and kind of build myself up and give myself what I need. And I also try to make sure that we have friends there for the kids, but also for me, so that I can get the social time that I need as well. So planning fun days is really important. And if you're not comfortable doing it once a week, or that doesn't work for your schedule, you can always just do a fun afternoon, or you can do it once monthly, or whatever works for you and your family. But finding a day that's just pure fun is really, really powerful. Number 3 is to make special traditions. So for a long time, we would do Timbit Tuesday, and we would, once we got our schoolwork done, we would head out and go to Tim Hortons, which is a coffee shop here in Canada that I don't know if it's in other places actually, but it's really, really popular here in Canada. Just a little coffee shop. It's nothing fancy. And they have those little like donut holes called Timbits. And the kids would get 2 of those. I mean, it's nothing, but it was such a fun thing. And it got us through our Tuesday of, okay, we got our core skills done. Let's go grab these Timbits before we dive into our unit studies. And it was just something special, a little something that we do every Tuesday. We've just brought that back with COVID. We stopped that for a while because we were so busy with all our activities, that like last year before COVID happened, my kids were only actually home 1 full day a week and 2 half days a week. We had activities and classes, and we were so social and really dove into our community, getting involved with all the homeschooling activities. So we didn't really need the Timbit Tuesday idea, but now that the world has shut back down, we're pulling that back out, and we're trying to think of something little and special that we can do each day that brings us joy. So that's number 3. Number 4 is make social a priority if needed for you. So as I mentioned, some people don't need social. Other people really need social. Right now, I really need the support of other people that have kind of walked this path before me, that can remind me about the reasons I'm doing what I'm doing, and give me that support when times are tough. So I really am needing social. Very, very soon, the world is opening up a little bit where I live, and we're going to be able to gather outside once more, which I'm so excited for. And we're also going to be able to gather inside a little bit, like just one family at a time. But that's fabulous. I cannot wait. Going to be a complete game changer for me and my boys. So I can't wait. We're going to have a friend over, and that is going to become a priority for us, even a priority above our academics. So as I've mentioned, we do core skills work every day, well, 3 or 4 days a week. And then we do our unit studies in the afternoon. I am fully prepared to take days off throughout our week when the opportunity comes up that a friend can come over, or that we can go over to a friend's house, or that we're invited to go outside. That is going to be our priority for a while, because we all need that majorly. We need the social, we need our emotional and mental health restored, and we need to be with other people and just kind of have some room away from each other. And that is going to be our priority. So I know from homeschooling for as long as we have that there is always time for schoolwork. And I don't mind whatsoever going into the summer a little further to get through our core skill work. I don't mind that one little bit because I know in the summer John's gonna be home because he's with the school board. So he's gonna be home for the summer. So it makes it easier anyways. I also know when my kids are in the right headspace, they're gonna get through their core skills lickety split. It's not gonna be a big deal at all. So I have no problem whatsoever with taking a day off here and there. And in fact, I'm going to be working really hard to make that happen because I know that that is what we need right now is social. So feel confident in your decisions as a parent. You get to do what's right for you and your family. If you decide that you need social, make that a priority and make it happen. And my fifth thing is to get help. If you cannot be with your children every single day, and that's what's needed right now, figure out an alternative. I run my blog and work from home, and then having my kids 5 full days. My kids now stay up later, a lot of them because they're older, and my little one still gets up bright and early. So it was not working for me to get any work time done. I would try to get a little bit done at rest time, but with Nora, that's maybe 20 minutes, half an hour. And then by the time everybody's quiet at night, it's 9:30 or 10, and with little Nora getting up at 6, I don't want to stay up late because if I don't get enough sleep, then I'm not at my best either. So I was really struggling and drowning because I love my blog and love writing and love making these videos. So I needed to make that a priority. So I actually got help. I hired a lovely woman who's coming 1 day a week, and she's planning the whole day, so I don't even have to plan. And she's with my children for the whole day so that I have an entire day to work. Complete game changer. And what it has done to my mental health, I can't even tell you, because now I have this day to look forward to. When I have these great ideas or I have these things that I want to share with you, I now can jot them down on my to-do list and know that on this 1 day a week, I have the whole day to knock all these things off my list and feel really good. It's also great for my kids because they have somebody different that comes in and is so excited to play with them and planning all these special things for them. So I recognize that's not a place that a lot of people are right now, that you can hire help. But what we did, one of our first years homeschooling was we did child share kind of. So I had a really close friend and I would take care of her little ones for 1 morning a week and she would take care of mine for 1 morning a week. And the kids had social time. They loved those kids, played really, really nicely together, and it worked out so great. So that's another option. If you have grandparents that live nearby, ask them to come over for a morning or even a whole day, or figure out whatever it is that you need and make it happen. If you have a spouse that's flexible, perhaps they could have the children for a morning on like Saturday or Sunday, and you could have time to yourself to do what you need to do. But make sure that you fill up your own bucket in order to give everything that you need to give when you're homeschooling. Okay. Those were my 5 tips. I'm not sure if this video was encouraging because I'm still feeling a little deflated about the fact that we are in this current situation, but I know it is ending. Even just the fact that things are opening up a little bit and we're going to be able to get together with friends again. Very few friends, but friends. We're going to go outside. We're going to go sledding. We'll have them over to the farm and it's going to be awesome. So I know what's coming and I know how amazing homeschooling is for our family. And I'm really proud that even though things have not gone great, we've gotten through this time. And all in all, we've managed and it's been okay. And that's huge because I know from experience, 6 years ago when we tried this, I didn't survive it. I put my kids in school. So I've grown a lot and my little ones have grown a lot. And I'm really happy that we have managed to pull through and that the end is in sight. I know it is. And I keep saying that and telling myself that because it is. The end is in sight. The world is going to open back up. I look at New Zealand. I follow this lovely blogger from New Zealand and their world is completely open again. She's off exploring with her kids, swimming in the river with a million other kids. And I'm just like, that's coming. We're going to be back to being social anytime. So hang in there. You've got this. Next year is going to be entirely different. If you have homeschooled this year successfully, you can do anything. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you again next week.